Hi friends, welcome back for part 2 of my freezer-friendly meals. I'm Amanda and I'm a twin mom who's entering into a very busy season of life. So if you love home-cooked meals that you can prep ahead of time, be sure to watch through the end of the video as I show you 4 freezer-friendly, high-protein meals to feed your family. In last week's video, I showed you 6 recipes, so this is the 7th meal that I am making, and we are starting with chili, which I would consider a freezer staple. We're going to start by browning 2 pounds of ground beef, and then I'm also going to chop up a green bell pepper, which I will add to the meat after I drain the grease. To the meat and peppers, I'm adding minced garlic, some tomato sauce, tomato paste, and I'll give that a good mix before adding in my spices. Lastly, I'm going to add in a can of diced tomatoes before I cover it with a lid and let the pot simmer for about an hour. After the hour has passed, I can rinse my beans and then add them to my chili mixture. I'm going to mix this up and then let it cool before portioning it into quart-sized freezer bags to store. The 8th meal that I'm making is pulled pork, and for some reason my camera died during the prep of this, but in the crock pot I had a pork shoulder that I rubbed with just pre-made barbecue seasoning, and then I slow cooked that with apple cider vinegar and water for about 8 to 10 hours. And then after that, you can see we are able to shred it beautifully. I then mixed in barbecue sauce to taste. I don't measure here, I just alternate between adding barbecue sauce and mixing until I reach my preferred level of sauciness. When everything is fully mixed, I was able to divide it into 2 larger dinner-sized containers. I will wrap these up and they will go in the freezer. And then I also had enough left over to divide into 5 total lunch-sized portions. The next day, I was ready to complete my freezer meal prep with my last 2 meals, and we're starting with Queso brisket mac and cheese. For the brisket mac and cheese, I am following another one of Stealth Health Life's crock pot recipes. I'm adding a trimmed brisket to the crock pot along with the extra crushed tomatoes I had from the chili yesterday, red enchilada sauce, green chilies, and then the adobo sauce that usually comes with chipotles. But I am taking those chipotle peppers out because they are just too spicy for our family. I'm also adding some honey, salt, onion powder, and garlic to the crock pot, and I will let that cook all day for about 6 to 8 hours. While that's cooking, I can start the enchiladas. To make these enchiladas, I am going to first chop up some veggies to saute. I'm starting with 1 whole green pepper and also 1 whole yellow onion. After adding about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to my frying pan, I add in those chopped veggies and I will saute these for about 5 minutes until they are getting soft and tender. For the enchilada filling, I'm going to add the following ingredients into a mixing bowl. To the filling, I'm going to add 3 chicken breasts that I've seasoned and cooked. I'm just going to do a rough chop before I start using a hand mixer to fully shred these and blend them in with the rest of the mixture. After that chicken is shredded and everything is thoroughly mixed in, I can go ahead and add my veggies. You can see here I was really struggling to hold my cast iron pan. It was just so hot and these things are really heavy. So if you've got any tricks on how to stabilize your pans while you're trying to dump your ingredients, please let me know because I really struggled here. To finish off the enchilada filling, I am just adding some Monterey Jack cheese. For the sauce that's going to go on the base of the pans as well as over top of the rolled enchiladas, we are making like a salsa verde crema, and instead of using sour cream, I'm going to substitute low-fat Greek yogurt. After that's mixed, I'm just going to pour a thin layer over each of my baking dishes. Now it's time for the fun part where we actually get to build the enchiladas, and this step is pretty self-explanatory, but we're just grabbing a tortilla, and I'm not being very precise here, but I'm using about 2 spoonfuls to fill each tortilla, and then I'll roll that up and place it into the baking dishes. For reference, I was able to get about 12 tortillas filled and was able to fill out all 4 total baking dishes. So keep that in mind when you are dividing up your salsa verde crema so that you have enough for the tops and bottoms of all of your pans. The final step for these enchiladas is just to top them off with the remainder of the cheese. And I did top these with their lids, wrote the name of the meal as well as their baking instructions. I will pull these out the day before so they can thaw in the refrigerator before baking. With about 30 minutes left in the queso brisket mac and cheese, I can start making my high protein cheese sauce. And we are using cottage cheese as our base. So if you don't like cottage cheese, you could probably use Greek yogurt as a substitute and get a similar result. But to a high-speed blender, I am going to add the following ingredients here on the screen. We're now ready to cut our brisket up into smaller pieces. I tried to shred this with 2 forks and it got the job done, but I would recommend just pulling the meat out onto a cutting board and just chopping it up into smaller bite-sized pieces. I think that will work better. But when that is shredded enough to your liking, you can add 32 ounces of cooked pasta as well as the cheese sauce. I know that it doesn't look super enticing at this stage, but believe me when I tell you that this is so delicious. You could even make this higher in protein if you used protein pasta, but my husband absolutely loved this dish, and my kids like it when I take out those chipotle peppers. But feel free to keep those in if you are a spicy family. But that finishes up our full freezer meal prep. If you didn't catch last week's video, be sure to check that out, as that has the first 6 recipes in this meal prep. If this video was helpful, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up. And if you're in a busy season of life and want more realistic from scratch meal prep and homemaking routines, I'd love to have you here. Thanks so much for spending time with me today, and I will see you in the next one.